Is Leo the real deal?
Yeah, he's a tough fight.
I do think Angelo's just going to have a little bit too much for him.
He's been in and around that world class bit, and he's been world champion.
I think he will catch up to him.
It's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Like we said.
Yeah. But, Leo still does have some bits to prove.
You get a good level of fight and a good level of boxing skill. Tricky.
I think it's a close fight.
I've got Leo points. Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to look at the upcoming fight on the 24th of May 2025, taking place in Osaka, Japan, between Angelo Leo and Tomoki Kameda for the IBF World Featherweight title. Kameda, Angelo Leo is the number one ranked featherweight in the world and IBF belt holder. And Kameda, I think, is the number one contender in that division. I'll start with a tail of the tape. So, Angelo Leo has a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws, 26 fights in total, 12 wins by KO. He's age 30. He's 5'6", 168 centimeters. And he's got a 68.5-inch reach, 174 centimeters. And this is at featherweight, which is 126 pounds, 57.2 kilos. And he fights out of an orthodox stance. Kameda has a record of 42 wins, 4 losses, 0 draws, 46 fights in total, 23 wins by KO. He's age 33. He's 5'7", 171 centimeters. And he's got a 67-inch reach, 170 centimeters. And he also fights out of an orthodox stance. So this is Leo taking on his mandatory at... surprisingly, it's taking place in Japan, although I think Kameda does have a bit of a following there, but I don't think he's the top of the pile Japanese boxer. His nickname's interesting. El Mexicanito. So maybe it's fighting style. And Angelo is El Chinito.
No, I like his other name, Kameda Ki Shikahika, which means the ultimate weapon of the Kamedas.
Well, yeah, that's a bit more fancy.
The ultimate weapon.
But he's mainly fought in Japan, so I think he's been against Vargas. I think he fought in America. He was a world champion, actually, but a world champion at lower down.
No, he fought all over the world,
He's fought in Mexico. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Nevada, Philippines.
I haven't got that low on his... He's got 40-odd fights. I haven't got down to the... He's fought quite a lot in all over South America.
I'm sure he fought Jamie McDonald twice. The British fighter, Jamie McDonald.
He was world champion at, I think, bantamweight.
Yeah, WBO.
For 4 fights until, I think, is Jamie McDonald beat him, isn't it?
Yeah. In Texas, May 9th, 2015.
And then he's gone on a winning streak again, and then Vargas has beaten him for the WBC title.
Yeah.
And then sort of gone again, and then I think Diamini beat him on decision, and then he's come back. So he's been beaten 4 times, but hasn't been...
By high opposition, to be fair.
Yeah.
Every time he seems to have stepped up.
It's world-class opposition he's basically gone out, isn't he? So, yeah, he's a tough fight. I think you would expect Leo, if he's really the real deal, to win. Because, as we've said before, his only loss was at bantamweight to Stephen Fulton, where he basically got outpointed. But other than that, he's done pretty well, and he does have a fair amount of pop. And he's the number one ranked at the moment in featherweight, which is, like we've said before, is an interesting division. Your thoughts on this one, Si? I think we're expecting Leo to win, but it's not going to be just a rollover fight.
I mean,
think it's a
Kameda
tough
is
fight.
just a super aggressive style fighter.
Yeah. And he's on his home turf, so it's going to be interesting to see how Leo copes with that, because I think it's Leo who hasn't
Never been stopped.
Yeah. Only outpointed. It's a tough fight. It's a contest. But yeah,
He's one of them fighters where, unless you're on your A game,
he's
he is going to cause you a hell of a lot of trouble. Because, like, say, he's super aggressive, come forward.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's got a fair few knockouts as well in his thing. So
but I think Leo should have a little bit too much. As long as Leo doesn't try and just knock him out, just let the.
If he underestimates him, I think he's going to find out.
It's going to be a really tough fight for him.
They should know from his record and going to his hometown. I mean, he's got to. One of the things you've got to acclimatise to fighting somewhere else.
Yeah.
Leo's only really fought in the States and in Mexico, which ain't that different in time zone, etc. Here, you're going to fight in Osaka, in Japan. So that will be the change. It's how well you acclimatise and set up for doing that. Secondly, you're in the guy's backyard, so you've got to acclimatise that. If he turns up properly and that doesn't do him, I think you would expect him to gradually, he should beat the other guy. Probably points, but I think wear him out. And you never know. You might be the first one to stop him, which will make a statement. But I think you should have too much there, because every time Kameda stepped up to that level. But I think it's like you said, if the guy doesn't turn up, then, it could be a very challenging day or challenging night.
Yeah, I do think Angelo's just going to have a little bit too much for him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he stops him...
It's a statement.
Yeah, it's a statement. And people might say, no, it's not, because, I mean, Kameda's not a huge name, but
it's not been stopped in
never been stopped, and he's fought
fights.
some really good fighters.
He's been in and around that world class level for a fair bit, and he's been world champion, so although at a lower weight. I think it's a must win for Leo, really, but he's got to
really must
perform. And be patient, because obviously it's a tough guy. He's not going to, if you're going for it, you get.
Yeah, I think he will catch up to him. I think Father Time may have catch up with Kameda. He's 33, 34.
Not huge in boxing, but obviously with 46 fights, you have to adjust for the dog years.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But these old warriors, they've got a trick or two up their sleeves.
A few where the silver foxes pull out the trick. One last performance. Breeders has done it a couple of times,
but I think Leo's going to.
I think Leo should have enough to do this.
Yeah. It's going to be a good fight, though.
Should we? Yeah.
It is going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Like we said, you
really
need to watch these lower
fight.
classes, because you get good, interesting fights in them, and a good level of you get a good level of fight and a good level of boxing skill. Let me just where have I put it? Let me just get the odds. Shall we do?
Leo should be a big favourite in this.
Right, the betting odds are where? Let me see. I'll have to look that up. Right, the Box Live ones is basically 67% for Leo, 50% by decision, 33% decision for Kameda. That's high.
Do you know what? Yeah, I can see that.
17% for Leo by KO. So the decision, it's basically 83% by decision. Yeah, I think that would be, you're probably going to get. Let me see if we can get some actual odds.
I could. He can frustrate you, Kameda, with that aggressive style that he's got, and if you're not prepared for it.
Leo's got to be on his A game.
Yeah.
Let's see, odds checker. Let's check the odds. Yeah, he's quite a heavy favorite. 5-19
for Leo.
Best odds, but win. Yeah. 5-19 for the win, 16-1 for the draw, and 15-4 for Kameda.
Yeah.
It's more.
Good fight. Look forward to this.
Should we Kameda's going to bring a fight. Then it's really what version of Leo's there and turns up, and hopefully he turns up and then shows us, again why this division's interesting and that featherweight is hot. Because if he's not on it, there's a few waiting in that featherweight, as we've said. Your Espinosas, your Nick Balls, your Fultons, and then your Carringtons and things. Yeah.
Oh, I bet you if Kameda wins, they'll throw like Kameda in a way straight away. You know it.
In a way, he'll be world champion.
You know it.
Featherweight. Your next fight after September will be. Well, it's not unforeseeable that Kameda could win. If Angelo's off it, then yeah, he's a tough to fight. But usually when he stepped up to this level, he's just been a little bit short.
But, Leo still does have some bits to prove.
Yeah. I think there's still bits you can polish there, isn't it?
Yeah, so.
Okay. Predictions then. Should I do mine first then? Or do you want to go first?
I'm going to go Leo points.
Yeah, I've got Leo points.
But
So Kameda's got a chance in there
really,
as well.
really would
Points as
surprise
well.
me.
I don't think they're that far apart.
No, it's a
on
good.
the points.
Honestly, it really is a good fight. This.
I think if Leo can get him out of there, then that's a statement. Then he's
I think
making but I think that's quite tricky.
I think it's a close fight. And
I think it's only going to be 2 or 3 rounds in it, like 115, 113, 116, 12 maybe, but probably 115, 113 close. I think Kameda at home is going to give him a go.
We usually we've been so wrong lately. It means it's going to
KO
be
in round 2.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute slugfest and be a KO in round 2. So yeah,
I hope so. Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think this is a good test for Leo. Leo gets through it then. As we've said before, there's a lot of fights in featherweight in it. There's a whole...
Take your pick, basically.
Yeah. I think then we need to see some unification going on, or at least picking off some of the contenders. So you got him, Leo, Espinosa, Ball, Fulton, Figueroa still in the mix. Carrington and Coelho are the main big names in there. And Espinosa, Ball, Carrington, Coelho are all unbeaten. So you've got it. And then I think your guy, Raymond Ford as well, isn't it? Should be somewhere in there.
Yeah, wouldn't discount him either.
And then there's a few others. So you've got a hot division. Yeah. So good luck to both of them. And I think hopefully make it a contest, as they usually are at this level. And let us know your thoughts in the comments, what you think of this.
Is Leo the real deal?
Yeah. Is he going to cope, and will he get Kameda out of there? Let us know your thoughts. And who you'd like to, assuming that happens, which of those fights would you like to see in featherweight? Or if Kameda fans, let us know if you think he's going to pull it off. That would be great to know a bit more about him. And we shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and all the usual goodness.